Hello, everybody. Okay, first thing I have to do, let's see. I believe, okay, let's see, test. Oh, good. All right, it's not gonna zoom in and out or change the focus. Okay, although I am going to change that a little. Here's hoping I didn't mess too much up. Happy Friday, everybody. Oh my gosh, it is a holiday weekend. This just felt like it was the longest week. And I think it's because I was really looking forward to doing this. And when there's something you want to do, it takes forever to get there. Oh boy, that was rough. Okay, I haven't used this pen since last time we were together, so maybe it needs a little refreshment. Hang on just a second. Okay, had to take my sweatshirt off. Whew, I could hear the heat getting ready to come on, and the room I am in, boy does it heat up. That is the last thing I need right now, is additional heat. I am in the midst of a med switch, which I think means my hot flashes are back, and those are miserable. So I'm gonna try to head them off by taking my sweatshirt off. Anyway, happy Friday once again. Wondering, does anybody have any fun plans for the long weekend? I am going to, I'm going to finally take down the Christmas decorations. I haven't done that yet since we went away. That pre-New Year's week, goodness gracious. So that needs to be done. Grandbaby could come anytime. So it's just a list of things that must get done before that happens. On a, difficult note, this weekend on Sunday is also the 1-year anniversary of my mom's passing. So I plan on going to the cemetery, just me, and sorry guys, maybe I need to bring this up. We're gonna try something. Okay, I shifted this up some, so hopefully I won't be hitting it as much. Anyway, back to what I was saying. My mom passed last year on the 18th. And those things are always mixed blessings. She had been struggling with dementia for years. So while it was a good thing that she went, the last few months were really challenging. That doesn't make it any easier. And it's really interesting how grief hits you in really weird moments. That's what I wasn't ready for. The other things, I was. But out of the blue, trigger is not my favorite word, but out of the blue triggers or what would make it especially challenging. So that's what I plan on doing Sunday. And then, of course, spending some time with my dad, since he lives about an hour away. But he lives with my sister, so he's in really good hands. So I'm looking forward to that. And then again, as I mentioned, oh, there it is. I wondered where that went. On Monday, I will take down Christmas. And then it is, oh goodness gracious. Then it's an incredibly challenging next couple weeks. My coworker left to go on a cruise. Awesome. Very excited for her. But we have quite a few on-site trainings in the office next week. I did not think I was going to be part of it. I thought I'd be assisting, but I did not think I was going to be in the training. And then on Wednesday, I found out I will be in the training, which makes it even more challenging if our security team, who helps cover when she is out, has questions or concerns, because then I'm in the middle of something and it's a little awkward to get pulled out. I feel like I've missed something, and then, you know, your brain's been interrupted and you have to get back into focus. All of those things make it not quite as easy as if you were just a participant who got to travel in and that was your only focus. I have only gotten to do that once. Actually, is that even true? Well, yes, I guess it is. I took a training online to get ProSci Change Management certified. But I paid to do it virtually because I got to puppy sit my friend's dogs. The cutest. Unfortunately, one has since passed away. But they are her babies, and I adore them. And so I would get to travel out to California to dog sit. And since I was going to be doing that, I counted this as virtual. So I kind of did get to travel, but it wasn't in person. I just jumped in online. I could have done it at home, could have done it in the office. I think there is something really powerful about being in a group of people who are learning the same thing. It's the advantage of being in office versus remote. I know that is a very touchy subject in my office because we worked remote. Oh, we think we talked about this last time. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I was just rambling on and on about it. But I didn't finish up why my experience was different than everybody else in the office. Essentially, I'm going to go off track again. It was because I covered the office while everybody worked from home. I counted as an essential worker. And so I was in, and at one point, our HR department required anybody who is going to be physically in the office to be vaccinated. And there weren't many of us who were at that time. And since I was in the office. So that's why my experience was different than my coworkers. Okay, see? Am I losing track of why I was talking about that? Oh, I remember. Okay, so because our team got to go remote for, oh my gosh, 2 years. Pretty sure it was 2 years. And then they started hybrid. It was 2 days a week, then 2.5 days, then 3 days, then 4 days, and then they moved to a mandatory 5. It was really hard. People had grown accustomed to, and were saying that they were just as productive at home, if not more so. Again, I can totally appreciate there are advantages to being in the office. There are advantages to being at home. Definitely disadvantages for each location as well. But my job now is employee engagement, which is great. I love it. However, it is really challenging to do that job remote. You really feel people's energy. It makes a difference when you are standing by someone and you can tell that they are stressed, or you can feel the joy, or whatever it is. You can feel that when you are in their presence. So that's why I'm a big fan of in-person trainings. I also think there's something about the energy of people learning together or having questions, because you will give each other, if you're sitting next to somebody and they are confused, you're not going to know that. If you are online, you don't get those same vibes and signals, crossed eyes, rolled eyes. So that's why I think there's a big advantage to being a person, and there's also an advantage to that being your sole focus. So we'll just have to see how it goes. The training is on AI. I am of the Terminator generation. That is sure. This is going to be what causes the end of the world. I've seen it in enough TV shows, sci-fi. Pretty sure that might be, actually. I'm not sure at all. I have no idea. But feels like that's what sci-fi is. Somebody taking over the world. And so I get really nervous about embracing it. I did get to do this basics course that was 2 hours of online compilations that helped explain what it is, the advantages of it from a non-technical point of view. And that's what I am. I work in a technical field, but I am the least technical person there is. I've done enough of those brain dominance tests to see that I have no left side of my brain. I think I was born without it. I've never understood anything that requires analytics, concepts. I'm very structural. I am artistic. I am social. Excuse me. So those are my challenges with it. Do I love that my YouTube algorithm comes up with some funky things? I guess so. Over that break, I spent a whole lot of time watching new stuff, lots of high-speed chases. How all this got in my algorithm, I have no idea. But it's fascinating. It also makes me terrified when I go out driving, because I think you never know what is happening and what is coming around that corner. So I know that's AI. I know that it is in some ways going to make things much easier. I just worry about the training that it's getting. I believe those are called the language, the LLMs, I think. Again, I'll learn more about this next week. But nobody wants to talk that. We want to talk Diamond Art. Or maybe we don't want to talk about Diamond Art. Maybe we just want to talk about ridiculous stuff. I am working on, and this is not it, I have to be very careful with this one. This, I'm thinking, will be finish 101, so I can't finish it. I was updating my logbook, I think it was last week. Did I talk about this? I don't remember. Y'all, I talk about things I need to work on. Memory. I was updating my logbook. We'll just pretend I haven't talked about it. And I realized my next finish will be finish 100. So seems like I should do something monumental for my 100th kit. So I mentioned it to my husband, said, hey, next one I finish is going to be kit number 100. He said, oh, maybe you should look at something that's 100 by 100. That's doable, especially if it's centimeters, not inches. Man, that'd be huge. Can you imagine? That would be so big. No, I'd never finish it. So I thought, okay, well, let me see if I can find something meaningful. And I have a kit by Diamond Painting Shop that I got that is Woman in Gold. I actually have two of that kit. I think one is Diamond Dots and the other Diamond Painting Shop. It's a decent size. I think it's 20 by 20 or 24 by 24 inches. Well, I know what it is in centimeters because when I kind of gridded it off, I thought, oh, it made it really easy. It was 5 sections by 6 sections. So it's 50 by 60. And I really love Klimt. I'm sitting here in my office, and the same friend who I would puppy sit for, she went over to Europe and brought me back a Klimt tapestry of the kiss, and it is so beautiful. She was my boss when I started diamond darting, and I had told her, like, I was gonna, well, we joked about a few things, what the milestones were, but I really wanted to purchase one of the masterpiece kits from Diamond Dots. They're super expensive, and now that I've been doing this longer, I'm sorry, I really don't think they're worth the money because you still get all the same materials, but I think one of them had 70,000 diamonds, and I said to her, oh my gosh, can you imagine a kit this big with 100,000 diamonds? You'd never get finished. And now I don't even know how many are in my stash with that many. I had included in my goals, well, not my goals, my overview for the year, I wanted to kind of estimate how many drills I had placed in the year. I had heard people kicking around almost 2 million diamonds and thought, oh, I've got to be close to that. I finished so many kits. Well, I'm not. I think I did a million something. It wasn't like 1.5 million for sure. And I thought, now wait a minute, I think I have completed more kits. Well, the difference is I actually prefer smaller kit sizes, and I do work full-time, and while I would love to diamond art full-time, boy, I wish that was my job. I can't, and I don't ever anticipate, other than a possible retirement, being at a point in my life where I could simply do that. Again, let's be honest, this YouTube gig is, I never expected to actually support me. I just want it to be that soft place for people to come to when they need it. So, being able to complete those kits, and 30 plus of them, it's not in the cards. I do have a few goals I've set. I have I think it's Sakura Festival, I think that's what it's called, by Yume. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It is kitted up, it is ready to go. I knew I couldn't work on it as my 100th because that thing, speaking of size, is huge. There's no way. And if that's all I worked on, I think I would go a little stir crazy. So my plan is to have a whole bunch of whips going, but I won't be able to finish them. They can't be finished until I finish Woman in Gold. When she is done, then all the whips that have maybe one color left, I will finish those, and then it's just going to go boom, 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 boom. There's going to be a whole bunch of them that wrap up around the same time. I'll have to make sure to note in my logbook what happened. Just kind of quiet for a while, and then all these finishes in a row. But it's what we do. It's what we do for our milestone moments, isn't it? Try to make them special. We accommodate. We do what we can to find ways to celebrate. I'm a big fan. Boy, it does not take much for me to come up with a way to celebrate things. This week, we just have a few minutes left. This week at the office, it was Lucky Duck Day. So we hid 200 ducks, those rubber ducks that you find or hide on a cruise ship. Hid those around the office. And it was a huge hit. It always is. Because we had a training going on, they participated as well. And it was really funny. As they were leaving, they were commenting how much they loved Duck Day and how it made such a difference, and they don't do those sorts of things at their office. I said, it's such a shame. It's not hard to do. It does take time. And I guess that's the advantage of my position. Now, speaking of that, it's the time of year when we have to do our annual self-assessments and how did we do on the goals that were set for us? Did we meet them? Did we partially meet? Did we greatly exceed? And I don't think of those things as measurable. I can tell you how many events. I ran 83 events over the fiscal year. But I can't tell you, other than that, the metrics involved in it. Yeah, hit 200 ducks. Yeah, 8 people won. Don't know what that says metric-wise. I'm sure there's an equation in there. But those are the things that I find challenging. Bringing joy isn't measurable. It's a challenge that I'll face with this channel. What is measurable? Is it measurable that it brings peace to somebody? Absolutely. That matters in my book. Will it matter in YouTube metrics? I don't think so. And I don't even know that I would know. I guess the only way to see that is if somebody joins and comments. But again, that's not what I'm going for and what I'm trying to achieve. So, such is the great dilemmas and debate of life. Well, as we discussed last time, my goal was to keep these about 30 minutes, the length of my commute. Today was a good day, by the way. We left kind of early, so it took 18 minutes, folks. That was a great commute. I love that. I love a nice, speedy commute. That makes it a good day. Even better that it was on a Friday. And I was excited to get home. So let me wrap up this line right here. Goodness. Until it's at the end, start getting jittery. Hey, thanks for joining. I hope you have a wonderful 3-day weekend. I'll be thinking of you while I spend some time with my mom on Sunday. I hope you can find time for the people you love. And I hope if you don't have anybody, you find some people. Have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you next time. Bye.